Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Rookie Division with various wins for the big game 9-hole cup, a full 9 of the Milano with new hole locations. I'm giving you my best advice on how to crush this version of the Milano. Before we start looking at the videos, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. For those of you that do want to improve your game even more, scan the QR code here on the screen or you type in patreon.com/golf-tommy. Link is in the description down below. You can find all our packages, make sure to check them out and see how you can improve your game even more. Follow the info box on the right hand side for the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also what ball and club type I suggest you to play with. Have in mind that those are all suggestions and you don't have to follow it if you don't want to, but there's always a plan behind it. So let's go to hole number 1. For the drive on hole number 1, I'm playing with a katana ball. This is I want to have the 3 right spin. If you do have a club with a lot of topspin, meaning that you have a minimum 7 bars of topspin, then you can try to get the green directly. But we don't have that driver. So using all the right spin together with 3 topspin. Now looking to have half of the yellow ring inside the rough with the ball guide point safely down the fairway. Adjust mid plus 10. No curl. Center the ball and hit perfect. Perfect ball it is. And now we're going to focus on the second shot. So you can see here now that we're pushing the ball to get kind of high up the fairway to have an open shot towards the pin. 315 yards. Let's take a look at the second shot. There we go. The second shot, I'll play with the short iron that I do feel most comfortable with, and that's the Thorn. Check where min club are, check where max club are to make the best possible guess on how the ball, what type of adjustment you need for your club. One backspin. Now, not having a fully developed ball guideline, need to aim short, otherwise we're gonna come in hot. 10% elevation, true club distance, and here it's all about the guess that you're making. And this is obviously by having something to follow, playthrough guide or something like that will be super helpful. If you don't, then you're gonna have to do what I'm doing there. Perfect ball here will always be close. Perfect ball, it gets down the green and rolls just right. Almost a drop here in hole number 1, but this is most definitely going to give you a good chance for a drop. Hole number 2, they have moved the pin to stand more back and also a bit more right, which is a very glitchy area with the ball guideline. So what I would recommend here is to use the Guardian, and we're using the Guardian from absolute min distance. A lot of backspin is required, otherwise we're gonna bounce over the green. Ball guideline slightly short of the hole, and the tricky part here is actually aim at the hole because we can't zoom in much when it comes to this par 3. Adjustment, minimum distance plus 25. Because as you can see here, we're playing this one fairly downhill, not fairly, massively downhill, I would say. Center the ball and hit perfect. There we go. And we're going to bounce on the fairway over to the green. Burning the left edge here, just need to correct our aim a little bit, but speed is perfect, which is kind of the toughest thing with this particular hole. So hole 2, very difficult, par 3 to drop. For hole number 3, we're playing with a Titan ball. We're gonna try to get as far down the fairway to left as possible. For those of you that do want to take a bit more aggressive route, you can play to the right and then you will leave a skinny rough bump to pin. Max topspin and 2 right spin. When I say max, 4.5 bar topspin. Adjust max plus 10. Center the ball and hit perfect. Perfect ball it is. Goes down the fairway, and we're looking to be safely down there without any risk of a great ball ending up in the rough. Scroll to the second shot here. Second shot, now we're gonna check where max distance are and where is minimum distance to make an educated guess on what club range we are in. And here we're gonna play very close to minimum distance. You can see I am a couple of rings up, trying to catch that little sticky spot that I feel there is on the green there. Spins is going to vary depending on yeah, what position you have after your drive, really. So that's why I can't really say here it's going to be one backspin and one left spin all the time. Adjustment, 10% elevation, and then true club distance. So here we are obviously making an educated guess. And sometimes it's going to go in, sometimes not. And that's why, you know, not having anything to follow, it's always going to make it like that, that we are not really sure when we do hit that perfect ball, if we're going to have a good chance or not. Ball comes in here though, we're burning the left edge, very close to an albatross on hole number 3. Hole number 4 is, in my opinion, the best chance of the par 3s to drop consistently. I'm starting with a P1 ball to find absolute minimum distance using backspin, so I have the ball guideline just through the hole. So it's going to be approximately 2 to 2.5 backspin. Once I've done that, I'm swapping to a Marlin ball, which is a power 0 ball, this to avoid pulling into min club, especially if I do have a little bit of tailwind. Adjustment, minimum distance with minus 5% elevation. Center the ball and hit perfect, and you will see yourself have a good chance for a draw. Perfect ball it is. Bounce into the rough and rolls down the green, and we're dropping this one nicely for an hole-in-one on hole number 4. On the drive on hole number 5, now we're going to try to have our first bounce on the furthest fairway pad, which is the one after the bunker. Sure, you can use a big topper and bounce on that fairway and use a lot of topspin, but to somewhat remove any type of dead bounce spots in the rough, trying to roll through a lot of rough, I'm trying to use the final pad to just somewhat bounce or use the rough to just slow the ball down. Max a +5 and some overpower as well, as I do have headwind. The good thing obviously with a crosswind or a tailwind is that we don't need to use any overpower. Bounce on the fairway, into the rough, slows the ball down, we end up for a wedge by the green. And unfortunately here, using a ball with more power, especially a berserker ball type of ball, is going to give you a great advantage over others that cannot. And so I would recommend to use a ball like that if you have the possibility, because you can see here now, having to lay up from distance contra doing like this, I mean, it's a no-brainer obviously to that this is going to be an easier shot to drop. Adjusting for the wedge, use the wedge with the best ball guideline if possible, and that will help you immensely when it comes to aiming. 20% elevation, trying to use some sort of an EV school to judge how many rings I should be playing. But when the wind is so low, I mean, it's gonna be a lot for us to miss this wedge. For hole number 6 here, I am fiddling around with the big topper to start with, but ending up going left side. The new hole location is a bit more right, but still the same type of idea when it comes to attacking the pin. Either you can go down the fairway if you do have a lot of topspin. The problem from front tee is that we don't really get that extra push from the ball guideline, as we're playing very close to mid and even to min club to an extent. So I'm changing to the extra mile to give myself a couple of more yards on my drive, because I want to keep the kingmakers. 4.5 topspin and 3 right spin ball guide down the fairway. Yellow ring by the rough. Max +10 adjustment using 3/4 of a ball of right curl with some overpower. Sure, you can use a ball here with more power, and you can then obviously have to reduce the overpower. This is super safe drive in that sense. You have loads of fairway to the left or right, and hitting a great won't impact the end result by being anywhere else than the fairway. Second shot, now we're gonna play a rough bump from distance. We're gonna use the sniper, as a sniper is the most accurate club that we do have as a wood club, and having a good accuracy and a good ball guideline will definitely increase your chances for job. Check where max club are, check where min club are if you don't have anything to follow already. I'm using all the 3 left spin. Trying to look for any sticky spot, but can't really find anything. Ball guideline to be just through the hole with top of the yellow ring by the edge of the rough line. Adjustment is 5% elevation with true club distance. Center the ball and hit perfect, and you will give yourself a good chance for a drop. Perfect ball it is. Bounce into the rough, rolls up onto the green, and we're dropping this one for a lovely albatross. A swirly in, swirly booms as we call it, on hole number 6. Hole number 7, here we're gonna play another rough bump. You can also do a sand bump, but I do believe that the rough bump is a little bit easier to control. 1 backspin, and now aiming with the ball guideline to be just short of the hole with our backspin, but most importantly having the green ring, which is the inner ring, to be just by the rough line. Adjust max plus 10. Have in mind, if you're playing with a backbone, you go, and also with a grizzly in a lower level, you need a power 2 ball minimum, otherwise you will be a little bit short with your aim point. Playing with a Goliath, then you can play with whatever ball you want, because you have all the distance in the world. Max plus 10 is adjusted, center the ball and hit perfect. Bounce into the rough, rolls up the green, dropping dead center. Not really much difference when it comes to the pin location here, which is nice, because this one they could have made very difficult. For the drive on hole number 8, I want to have 3 left spin. Here you can play with katana or a kingmaker. Sure, you can play with a side spin 2 ball if you would like as well. It's just gonna make you need a little bit more curl, and especially with the very low level clubs, then you don't really have much curl. 4.5 bar top spin, all the left spin, aim at the edge of the fairway. Half a ball of left curl with just before circle drop overpower. Max plus 10 is the adjustment. Ball is going to bounce on the fairway over to the next fairway, and from here we're going to play our short iron from minimum distance. You can see I'm playing with a katana here, and because I mean I don't want to waste my kingmakers, rather want to waste a katana. So for the second shot, you can see here now that I'm playing from absolute min distance of my club. And now it's all about playing with a club that do have at least 3 to 4 bars of backspin, which the Thorn is having. Because otherwise you're not going to be able to get the ball to stop in time. 3 bars backspin, leaving the ball guideline short of pin. An adjustment is minimum distance plus 10. And this is always going to be a very solid chance to get a drop here on hole number 8, which I would consider to be, together obviously with other part 4s of the Milano, new hole locations or not, it's going to be a fairly simple way to get yourself a drop. Perfect it is. Down the green, and the drop's lovely for the eagle. Hole number 9 is as equally boring as it was before. They have moved the hole, like the pin, a little bit more right, but I mean, it's not going to change the fact that this is going to be one of the most boring times that you have in Golf Clash playing this hole. 4.5 bar topspin, 2 right spin. Use as much topspin that you can. So if you have 6 or you have max, use it all. We're going to blast this ball down the fairway if you do have a tailwind using a power 5 ball. Max plus 10 if the is the adjustment. If you do not have a tailwind, then you cannot go directly over, then you have to bounce, and then you're going to use the big topper if so. Second shot, we're going to play this one with the wood club that gives us the most power. Unfortunately, I packed the wrong wood club. and I leave myself with a sniper level 7. So what I'm trying to do here now is to actually go to the final fairway before the bunker starts by the green. So I'm using all the top spin and also using the right spin, stretching out to aim so I can see, okay, there is the ball guideline ending up on the fairway. Adjust, max no elevation, then I'm pushing up to max and going to have to estimate the, or like I'm gonna have to guess the overpower, taking approximately 5 rings. And the good part with having a sniper here instead of a big dog is that you obviously have a better accuracy, so a great ball won't hurt you as much as it would do with the big dog. Now, for the wedge that we're going to take a look at is a fairly simple wedge. I do have one recommendation though, and that is that I would like you to aim with your first bounce on the green if possible, because aiming with the first bounce on the fringe or fairway before is going to create some inconsistencies, and we don't really like that. We don't like inconsistent spots, especially when we're playing with a wedge. So having my bullseye on the green, having spin to pin, obviously if you do have a wedge, I do have a good ball guideline, it's definitely an advantage. But if you don't, then try to estimate with your bounces so you don't come in too hot or too short. Perfect ball. And we see ourselves locking in the eagle on this extremely boring and long par 5, which is Milano, hole number 9. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Rookie Division for the big game. 9-hole cup, various wins, but I'm giving you my best advice with new hole locations on the Milano on how to crush it and give yourself an advantage in the tournament. If you're looking to improve your game, you can find tour guides and tournament guides for as low as $1.50 on patreon.com/golf-tommy. Scan the QR code and check out the packages. Just because you may not play Master Division doesn't mean that you are just lost here. We have something for each and every one. Thank you once again for watching. Good luck in your Golf Clash game.